So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your very own underwater terrarium. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just focus on hardscape. I'm going to look through these slates and try to get a nice mountain looking brick that's going to fill the jar nicely. So yeah, after looking through the rocks and stuff, I think I'm just going to go for something like this. It looks quite simple at the moment, but once I've got substrate and some plants and stuff in there, it should bring the little terrarium together. So yeah. So right now I'm at this lake, which is obviously going to have a lot of little microorganisms and things in. So I'm going to get some soil out of the bottom of the lake and just put it in the bottom. Although it's going to make the water cloudy at first, it should hopefully bring in some nice little scuds and microorganisms that are going to bring some life into this terrarium. So yeah. So this is what I'm just going to throw in there. It's just a bit of like mud and roots and stuff off the bottom. And although, as I said, it's going to dirty up the enclosure, this will be full of little microorganisms and stuff, which will be cool to see swimming around. So see if I can see any in there now, which I can't, but I'm sure as soon as we add some water we'll see a lot in there. So yeah, we'll put this in. I'm also going to add this little plant here, which I've just picked from this bigger plant, and this is a really nice aquatic species. I'm not sure of the name, but it grows very well in like fish tanks, terrariums, all that. So we're going to use some of this stuff. Now I'm back inside and I'm going to add sand just so the enclosure looks a lot more nicer. So yeah, let's get into it. So now I'm filling it up with water, and I've just got some water here out of my fish tank. I was going to use some lake water, but it started raining, so instead I'm just using fish tank water, which will still have microorganisms and, you know, beneficial bacteria in, which is going to boost the biodiversity in this, obviously. So yeah, let's get it in there. Now the water's in, which I'll try not to stir up too much of the substrate, but as you can see, it's turned into a hot mess. If we leave it for a couple of hours though, trust the process, this should get nice and clear, and then we can add some microorganisms, which should be good. So yeah, stay tuned. Just while I still wait for the water to clean up, I'm just going to add some more little stones, some more types of plant, which again I'm not sure of the name, but these do very well in underwater terrariums, as well as some little slate as well, just to, you know, create a contrast between the big slate and the little slate. So yeah, let's get all of this stuff in, and then once the water's clearer, we'll start adding the little microorganisms, which you can see in the back here. In this lid here, in this jar here, so we've got little scuds to go into the terrarium, and these will act as a clean-up crew and just add a bit of life into the terrarium, which will be good, as well as some water beetles in here, which might be a bit hard to focus on, to be honest. Hopefully you can see them, as well as some little snails in there as well. So all of these I'm going to add in now, just so the terrarium's got life. So yeah, let's get doing that. First one to go in this is this little guy. Is he in there? There we go. Straight to the bottom. Got some more going in here, which as you can see is kind of stirred up the water, but hopefully you can see those guys in there. I was going to wait for the water to be clear, but I thought adding these is just going to stir up the water again, so I might as well just get it over and done with. So then this can properly settle and go clear. And last but not least, the beetles, which, yes, proper stirred up the water again. Make sure nothing's left in the glass. Right, so I'm going to leave this now for an hour or two or something, see how it goes, and this should clear up, and then I'll pick up the camera and show you guys the little microorganisms making themselves at home, which you can see at the front here. So yeah, starting to clear up now. This is how it's looking a few days later, and it is still quite cloudy, to be honest. I did have it on a window ledge, so I think it's kind of put a bit of algae in the water, but apart from that, it's been doing very well. I sometimes sit and watch it and watch all the little microorganisms and things swimming around. You can see a little water beetle here and a little another water creature right there. The plant's been growing in, and yeah, this has been doing very well, and it was a very good experiment. So yeah, look at this little guy, come and say hello. But yeah,